last episode, I outlined the impact you could have if you gave 10% of your salary to help make the world a better place. Many people ask though, why 10%? Why not 1% or 50% or somewhere in between? The simple answer is, there's no reason why I picked 10%. While some religions advocate giving this amount, I simply chose it because it's a round number that enables you to have an amazing impact without making you significantly poorer. However, if there's no definitive reason for 10%, it begs the question, how much should you give? And this question is the focus of this episode. To set expectations, I'm afraid I've not come across any magic formula to answer this question. This is because individual circumstances often have a huge impact on one's ability and willingness to give. For example, even if you earn a 6-figure salary, the amount you feel able to give to charity may be less than someone who earns half your salary, because you have a large extended family for which you feel responsible and they don't. Equally, your willingness to give may be much higher if you know you're in line to inherit hundreds of thousands of pounds relative to someone with the same income and living costs but who has no inheritance pending. National and global issues can also have a significant impact. Due to the COVID-19 crisis, many may feel that this is an inopportune time to be giving more of their money away. These are very uncertain times and many people are quite understandably scared about the future. For me though, the COVID-19 crisis has highlighted that money is not that great at guaranteeing against the greatest threats to our safety and well-being, such as our health, the safety of our loved ones, and the stability of our relationships. It's also highlighted to many wealthy people I've spoken with that while security is often seen as a prerequisite for happiness, you can never be 100% safe and secure. While this can be a scary thought, wealth does offer some practical reassurances. For those earning high incomes, if things go wrong and they lose their job, there are likely to be more rungs on the ladder that they can go down before they're really in trouble. And while there are always outliers, for me the current research relating to income and giving is really clear. Earning £63,000 or more is more than enough money for most people to be happy. If people earning above this income are not happy, generally it's not due to a lack of money, it's something else. Indeed, at this pay grade, giving away money is far more likely to make you happier than keeping it. If you'd like to review the research, join over 3 million people and enrol on Yale University's free online Science of Wellbeing course. In my discussions with wealthy individuals though, one of the biggest factors that influences their appetite for giving is whether they have kids or not. As a parent myself, I found the comments of the rapper and prize-winning author Darren McGarvey to be really useful. He was brought up in a tough part of Glasgow and has moved up many rungs of the social ladder in a short period of time. In becoming a parent himself, he states, "It doesn't matter how progressive you think you are. The minute you have a child, you have given birth to your first undiluted conservative instinct. You will protect this child at the cost of anyone else." He advocates trying to keep this instinct in check though, because in his own words, the phrase, "I'm just doing this for my kids," can become an airtight justification for all sorts of nonsense. He's also very mindful that the size of your paycheck rarely provides immunity from the feeling of financial insecurity. As he puts it, there is a need to sustain the level of life you become accustomed to, otherwise you feel like there is a contraction. Despite these challenges, I have met individuals who are comfortable with a modicum of financial insecurity. Indeed, they've often found it's made them more fulfilled. Notably, they've developed a slightly different perspective to the one outlined by McGarvey. Rather than focusing on sustaining and growing their wealth, they've directed their attention to genuinely working out what is enough. What's enough for them to pay the core bills and safeguard what's most important for their happiness. And then crucially, getting off the hedonic treadmill, stopping the cycle of continually striving to upgrade their lifestyle and comparing themselves to others. The other traits of those who are comfortable with a modicum of financial insecurity is that they place less importance on material things and focus on experiences. Also, they don't make decisions purely on a rational level. They also pay real attention to the emotions. And instead of making and trying to stick to rigid long-term plans, they experiment. So I would like you to experiment now. What's 10% of your take-home monthly salary, roughly? Could you donate that amount without it having a critical impact on your ability to pay your bills and still have fun? Now, if you don't give to charity at the moment because you don't think they're effective, indulge me just this once, as a future episode will give alternatives to charitable giving. So if 10% is a viable amount, keep that number in your head. If not, half the amount. Would 5% of your take-home salary be possible? If so, keep that number in your head. If not, half the amount again. What about 2.5%? As soon as you reach a number that works for you, how much more is that relative to what you're already giving? If you've ended up at your current giving amount, identify one or two things within your discretionary spending that you'd be willing to experiment giving up for just a month. Estimate the value of these one or two items and add this to your giving amount. Now, whatever amount you've arrived at, think of a charity that you feel is worthy of support. If you're already giving to a charity or several charities, which would you give the additional amount to? Or would you like to give the additional amount to a new charity? I'll pause for a few seconds to give you a chance to decide the value and the charity. So, having decided the amount and the recipient charity, pause this episode and make that donation now. If giving a full month's worth away in one go is too much, divide the amount by 4 and give a week's worth. And if you can't donate now, try and do so as soon as you can. Now reflect for a moment on how the additional donation feels. Is it uplifting, scary, satisfying, a combination of these, or something else? If the feeling is largely positive, do it again next month. But maybe having experienced giving and experimented with a new donation amount, you're back in the rational thinking mode and taking the view that a one-off donation is one thing, but giving at this new rate on a regular basis is quite another. If so, then please go to the next episodes, which look at when to give, who to give to, and whether to make charitable donations at all.